you guys? Welcome back to a new video. I'm your girl Adrienne Montanez. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. So this is not for everybody, but I want to just give some positive reinforcement to anybody out there. I've had a lot of new homeschool parents reach out to me, and I just want to share my personal opinion and also just to give you a little bit of a confidence boost. And this is not going to be for everybody to agree with, and that's totally fine, but it needs to be said. I do not understand this whole generation of feminine male energy. Now, there's nothing wrong. I'm not talking about like gay, sex, transgender. I'm not talking about that either. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about men that are becoming so weak, or that are just so weak and soft, and they're downgrading stay-at-home parents, stay-at-home mom, just homeschool in general. It's not a job, and it is. I'm gonna tell you why. We're living in a time too where if you cannot see the bigger picture when it comes to what they're doing to our children and the attack when it comes to Satanism, along with pushing gender identity. I mean, there's been so many disturbing videos. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could just Google them and see. I mean, we have people out here that are saying that, you know, trans, being kinky, 5- and 6-year-olds should know that. I mean, there was multiple cases. There's been so many cases too, just in the last few months, of children being sexually displayed in classrooms where children are being encouraged to fondle and to perform in front of teachers. I'm not gonna lie, I never thought I would be a full-on stay-at-home parent, let alone be a homeschool student, be a homeschool teacher, but it's one of the best decisions. Do I feel alone at times doing it? 100%. Do you sometimes want to question yourself, like, am I even doing this right? You're human. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when you walk down a road when there's not a lot of people and it gets real narrow, but your heart keeps calling for it, it means you need to do it. And that's just in anything, whether you want to believe it or not, and whether you agree with it or not. But schools are institutions. They are preparing and grooming our children to what they want. And whether you believe it or not, we're living in a society where Democrats want mindless idiots that they can just control. You know, I went to get my nails done the other day, and the shop I support is LA County, and I'm not going to say where or who they are. I have a lot of loyalty to this company, to this private business, and they came from communism. Like, hearing their story, where they came from, how they grew up, what they went through to come to America. They have 3-4 children over here. Their children are so liberal. They're so against what the parents say. Well, mind you, if they stayed in their country where they came from, they would know what communism is. They're trying to put more communism and show that here in America, even just with our children, whether you believe it or not. Children should be focused on their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and my child right now is learning how to do compound sentences, and he gets worked up about it. But you know what? There's so many wonderful resources, and to see his intelligence right now, I'm not saying this because he's my child. Trust me, he has flaws and struggles just like any other kid. But this little boy loves his math. This little boy can put together certain things I've never seen. And just seeing his intelligence too, just from him, and when he does play with other children, it surpasses. I always get the whole miss too, we're just like, oh, your child's gonna be weird because he's at home. I'm like, he's at home for a few hours doing homework, and then guess what? He has outside extracurricular activities. He also too goes to the library. The library has so many free events. All the time. You could even take your kids on a Sunday to the library, and they do like Lego events for kids of all ages, and you can play. You get to step back and let them do their thing. I think he has better social skills than some of these teenagers that are glued to their phone. You know, mind you, he's only 7 years old. He just turned 7 years old, and he's already 6 months ahead of his curriculum, starting 2nd grade. But that's not a job, right? Our job is to do what's best for us as parents. And it's not going to look the same for everybody else. Am I a perfect parent? Absolutely not. Do I struggle? 100%. Do I have my breakdowns? Yes, I do. Because I don't have a village. I got to pay for a village. People could just pawn their kids. Let's go to grandpa's house. Oh, your uncle's going to pick you up. Your cousin. I got nobody. I live a military lifestyle. So we create the structure here within home. Not only that, we're living in a time too where the mockery of Jesus Christ is just becoming so normal, and it's okay. I mean, if you can't see that there's something, here's my thing. You can make fun of races. You could roast me as a Latina. I don't care. But when you start messing and you start coming for our religion, It's gonna make me look at you differently. When you got people like at the Dodger Stadium, they're dressed as nuns with the upside down cross. You can't tell me that's satanic. That's demonic. There's other things you could mock and make fun of as jokes, but you want to come for the faith. We're living in a time too where children are being washed from that. Everything's the devil. Everything's gay sex. All June is all gay sex. And here's my thing. I don't have anything with it. I don't have no problem with it. My problem is stop grooming the children with it. So if you are somebody out there that's contemplating, do I want to homeschool? Or am I even doing this right? You are. Because the government wants control of as many people as they can. And we saw what they did during 2020. We saw how they played so many people. And so much truth has come out from everything. Whether it's the Black Lives Matter movement, the COVID-19, the mask, the vaccine, everything. Everything. But you get to make your own logical decision in what's best for you. And I've been seeing a lot of this too lately. We're just like, you know, being a stay-at-home parent is not a job. It is a job. You don't get to clock out when you want. Like, I'm making this video. I honestly should be training right now at the gym, or I should be running errands. I should be prepping stuff for dinner. But I want to make this video because it sits and it resonates with my heart and soul. And not everybody has to agree with it, and that's okay. But that's the best part about America. Freedom of speech. You can't take that from me. I got family that died in these wars. So give that, you know? We're living in a time too where you can't even honor the flag. If you honor the flag, you're a racist. You're a racist. And I had a gentleman recently just saying, you know, stay-at-home moms should be at work too. Okay, so if we go to work, you realize daycare is about $1,500 to $3,000 a month. That still requires money. That still requires a job. But it's not a job though, right? You want to knock it like it's not a job. We don't live in the times too. Unless you have families close by and you have this supportive big village, it's not the same. It's not what it is. Now you have to be mindful of who your children are around. I mean, I come from a family too. I'm not going to lie. There were some really ugly scenarios that happened where there has been incest along with molestation. And the predators were protected over the children. But that's okay, right? Let's protect the predators. Not the children, right? Forget the victims. Just sweep it under the rug. That's what the world that we're living in now. Glorify and follow what we put in these institutions. But the rest we'll just sweep under the rug. No. If it means me putting certain things in my personal life on hold to make sure my child is building up that self-confidence along with what he needs to know and the truth, because at the end of the day, we are his parents. He didn't get asked to put here. But we are going to show him the truth in the best way possible. But one thing I will say this, I will never, ever let anybody make me think twice when it comes to my character on what's best for my children. And I will say this, the community is much larger than what it will ever be talked about on the internet, on social media, on TV. But you got more kids that are being pulled now in public schools. Just alone from 2020, we had over 3,000 students from the minority community that never went back that are homeschooled. But numbers don't count, right? We can't talk about that, right? Because it doesn't fit the agenda. So to my stay-at-home parents, to my homeschool parents, to my working parents, doesn't matter. As long as you do what you're doing to protect your children, and you love them unconditionally, because nobody's going to do it better than we are. Let anybody else tell you otherwise. Here's my thing. People can always have their opinions all day. But if you're not paying my bills, you're not helping me, you're not putting food on my table, you're not taking care of my child, your opinion is shit to me. Shout out to all the amazing parents out there. The stay-at-home parents, the homeschool parents. And if you're somebody who's contemplating, right now, recently, my hairstylist recently, she pulled all 3 of her kids. She's like, they're not going back. They're not going back. We're getting large and we're getting bigger. I'm gonna tell you this right now, we're not gonna back down. So until the next video, hopefully this encourages somebody. Hopefully this picks up somebody. And if you just came to my page and you're just like, what is this girl about? I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm about everything that this world doesn't want us to be about. Till the next one, you guys.